Well, welcome to Modeling Time with me, Brian Banna. And in this video, I don't even know where to start. But I do have my Welcome to Modeling Time with Brian Banna apparel. I just had one made. I had to. Anyway, like I said, I don't even know where to start with this. All of my HO projects have been put away, and I'm going to stop fooling myself into avoiding the type of modeling that I really like to do. I'm not much of a model railroader. I do like to run trains and, stuff like that, hang out with friends and, things like that. But I really enjoy the fine scale modeling, and I've been avoiding that for a long time. I've been avoiding weathering and pretty much everything that I used to do. So, doing a little bit of model railroad soul searching, not really soul searching, I never really do that, I just jump into stuff. I've decided to give 1/48 scale a go and see what I can do with it. I've really liked that scale for a long time, but there's absolutely nothing in it to satisfy my need for fine scale modeling. And I would have to create all of it myself. Well, I'm at that point in my life where I'm confident that I can create it, except for one thing, but I'm going to try. And I'll explain that later. I've got a mound of things here. I've got something on the floor to show you, and some other things that'll get me going. I've been, a long time ago, I bought a 3D program called a Libre. In the past 2 weeks, I've drawn air reservoirs, spitter valves, feed recorders, poppet valves, jack pads, brake cylinders, and I'm not done yet. I've still got a whole bunch of things. With all the information that I've gathered over the years, I have a lot of the dimensional, information that I need that I can produce this stuff. For Christmas, I'm going to get myself a 3D printer and learn how to use that. I've seen some amazing stuff done in HO scale. I can only imagine what it can do for O scale. I don't know yet if I'm going to do Proto 48 or just OW5. I'm kind of leaning towards OW5 because it's easier. I like Proto 48, and pretty much Proto 48 is just track and wheels. That's it. But I don't really feel like laying my own track. I don't have much space in here. I got 17 feet that I can build like a display, small operating switching diorama layout, which I might do. But I may go Proto 48. I don't know. So at this point, I bought my first model. Let me see if I can get it over here. Thing's heavy. There we go. Oh, there you go. So there's my first model that I'm going to start on. It's an Atlas GP35. This one is 3-rail, but it will be converted to 2-rail. My friend Donald Wells, he's been doing some 3D drawings, and he has drawn the standard EMD plow and was kind enough to send me the raw file so that I can play with it, manipulate it, and turn it into what I want it to be for my O-scale stuff. So I really appreciate Donnell for doing that for me. That's great. I did get some Northwest Shortline Stanton Drive trucks in. I have to figure out how to either put the Atlas trucks on them or the Atlas side frames on them, design my own side frames, or I'm working with somebody who has drawings of the side frames as well as traction motors, and I've talked to him, and he seems to be very receptive to the idea of rebuilding the Stanton gear case to incorporate the traction motors, the detail, and then hollow it all out for the motor, the Stanton motor, to just fit up inside just like it does on this case. And then he would put the side frames around it, and it would be a really nice looking truck, and then we could 3D print that. I'm really keeping my fingers crossed that he'll come through and do that. If not, I'm not gonna throw the baby out with the bathwater. I am going to either live with the Atlas trucks and try to spruce them up a little bit with some of the things that I can do, or I'm going to show you this in a minute, or I'll just show it now. A long time ago, a good friend of mine, he's passed away since, and may he rest in peace, he gave me a whole stack of original EMD drawings. And this stack that I have here are a bunch of GP35 drawings. Now, they're not part drawings, they're mostly assembly drawings, but they're big drawings, and I can scale off of them. And this drawing here, if you look at it, let me see, where am I looking? I'm looking for something very specific on here. Oh, there it is. If you look at this part right here, right there, it says GP35. And what it is, it says right here, it's the, let me see, locomotive outline, clearance, and general arrangements. This drawing was done in 1963. Now, what's great about this drawing, not only is it big and I can lay on the floor and get measurements off of it, but what I'm looking for on it, let me open it up here a minute, see if I can show you this. There is a really good profile of the side frame. Now, I can blow that up on a printer to a specific scale that I need it at, or what I do is I figure out a general dimension, which I have a very good knowledge of what that dimension is because it's 9 feet to truck centers. And what I do is I make myself, and I can make one for that, I make myself my own scale rules. So I go into a drawing program, I figure out what the scale of the drawing is, and then I just, figure out what the inches are, and then I break it down into its fractions and all that. So I can make one of those. Or if I can change the size of those truck side frame view into something that I can use like an architect scale on or something like that. There's all kinds of ways to skin a cat. So I can do that. So I've got some options if my friend or the person that I'm working with doesn't come through. I mean, he already has the drawings. He already has the 3D files for the side frame, for Blomberg side frames, and for the traction motors. It's just whether he wants to do it or not. I told him I would basically foot the bill for, I could buy him a Stanton drive and he could take it apart and stuff like that. So we'll see. These are, and I'll just end it at that. We'll see. I've sent him some information today and let him know that if he needs a Stanton drive, I'll send him one that I have, and I'll just order myself another one, and he can have that one to use to design with and such. I just want to do this. This has been burning inside of me for a very long time. I've got all kinds of design ideas that I want to do and try out, and this is the scale that I can possibly do those in. I was thinking of doing G scale. That would be pretty cool, but those things are just monster. They just take over this whole room. And there's no way I can build a freaking G-scale switching layout in 17 feet. But anyway, moving along. So this video might go a little bit longer and stuff. It's more of an explanation and a introduction to where I'm going with this. I have been trying to break back into doing like model tanks and stuff, but I just don't have the heart. The heart isn't there for that stuff. This is where my heart is, but I want the larger scale, and the O scale is I think really where I need to be for the modeling part of it, the fine scale modeling part of it. And I really want this thing to just ooze with coolness. So anyway, when I bought this model, it was listed as a dummy engine because a lot of the stuff I find on eBay are unpowered. The person that was selling it wasn't a model railroad. He was selling part of his father's collection because his father fell ill and they needed to raise money for this. So this is like $600 or $700 model, and I got it for like $300 because it's full of drive components, speakers, and you know the whole sound system and everything. It's heavy. This sucker's heavy, but I'll probably be only using the hood, the cab, the battery boxes, and stuff like that. Everything else, and possibly the trucks. Everything else is gonna pretty much be sold back on eBay. The other nice thing that I have about these drawings is, like for instance, the footboard support. You know, the where the MU hoses go into the pockets in the pilot at the bottom of the pilot plate. This stack of drawings has the layout for those, so I can get a really nice setup on that. I have everything. I can do everything on this model. I can design all the parts. It's the trucks that are really a bothersome thing for me. Not bothersome that I don't like them, bothersome that I don't have the confidence in myself right now that I could actually design a good looking Blomberg truck. I bought the, oh crap. This isn't anything against P&D, but I bought the P&D trucks, and I'm sorry, but those things, no, I'm not sorry. I'm just going to say it. Those things are horrible. They're all tweaked and crooked, and it would take me a lifetime to true them up and stuff. And I'm like, nope, I'm going with this new route and see what I can do with that. You know, go with the Stanton drives and see what I can do with that and with the guy that I'm working with and blah, 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 and all that stuff. So that's enough about the trucks. One of the things that really sold me on this O-scale stuff, believe it or not, because with HO, it was like every time I hear these sound systems in HO, I just want to go, oh my God, just turn that off because they just sound horrible. But a long time ago, a friend of mine says, oh, I'm putting tank band speakers in my models. And I go, oh, cool, I'll give those a try. And I'm looking around, I'm looking for tang band, and I'm like, well, this is the smallest one I could find. Now tell me that's going to fit in an HO model. Well, these are 4 ohm, and ESU can support 4 ohm speakers, so I really wanted to hear what it sounded like. Have any of you ever listened to the sound files on the ESU homepage, the demo files? That's what things should sound like. When I put this on there, this sounded exactly like that. And I was sold in an instant. I had this thing sitting on the table and it was vibrating the table. There was enough bass in this, because this is a mini subwoofer. There's enough bass in this to get that really deep down rumble. I think these are 100 hertz. I can't remember what it is, but I think these are 100 hertz. And it gives you a really, really good deep down rumble. Now I'm going to be using the Soundtrax Blue Nami in here. They don't support 4 ohm speakers, so I got another one. So if I wire them in series, that'll give me 8 ohms. So you can imagine what 2 of these things are going to sound like in there. And because I'm using the Stanton drive, that leaves the whole inside of the hood open. So that means I can put another 2 of these in there. So I can do 4 speakers, wire them in series, parallel series. I think that's how it works. And I can still stay at 8 ohms. And I'm really excited about that. But it's going to be a while before I get to that. I also got this speaker from DigiKey. It's a 4 ohm speaker. What I need to do is get a test bed set up with a Blue Nami and test the speaker system set up. Because when I did just this speaker on the ESU Loc Sound decoder, the horn was really kind of muted. I don't know why. It could have been just the horn file that was on there, but I'm going to be doing some testing and such. So I did get started. I'll put all this stuff away when I'm done. I did get started on the model. I'm doing a lot of design, a lot of drawing in CAD and stuff, so I got a lot of photo etch drawings to do. I've got a lot more 3D drawings to do. I still got to get my 3D printer and learn how to use it and stuff. The 3D printer that I've settled on is the Uniformation. I think it's Uniformation GX TWO2. I've seen a whole mess of reviews on it on YouTube and read reviews. I have yet to find one that's bad. It's a lot more expensive than what the other. Trying to think off the top of my head, I can't think of the Anycubics and the other stuff. I can't think of the name of them now. Trying to sound cool, and my mind goes blank. So, anyways, I'm gonna get the Uniformation GX2. That's TWO. I'll get their wash station and their curing station and stuff. It seemed to be the most quick get up and running friendly one there is out there, and I'll learn how to tweak the settings and all that, but this is where it's going and what's happening. So the first bit of modeling that I got done is I got the frame done. So that's the frame. So from end to end is the length of the locomotive minus the pilot plates. So this is just a piece of aluminum. The thickness of this piece of aluminum is the thickness of the frame without the fish belly on it. So this would be the straight frame. I will be putting the drop fish belly on it. A long time ago, maybe not a long time ago, but a few years ago, I have a friend that owns a locomotive rebuilding facility in Kansas City, and I visit him every now and then. Really nice guy, Mike Roberts. He's been very kind in getting me a lot of information. He has a GP35. He has a ex-GM&O GP35 with double AR trucks under it. But he still has it, and I might be going out there again soon to get more dimensions and things like that, because he just lets me, have the run of this place, and I can go measure and climb on and get whatever I want off of it. So there's a lot more stuff I want to get. But anyways, last time I was out there, I measured the frame. So you can see there's the frame. So the width of this piece of aluminum is the width of the frame minus 80 thousandths. And the reason why I say it's minus 80 thousandths, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to build the fascia of the frame in plastic. So this will be a scale width frame in O scale. And then I'll build the drop belly off of it and all that stuff. For the fuel tank, I'll be using some Red Caboose GP9 fuel tanks, because a GP35 fuel tank is just a lengthened GP9 fuel tank. So they really look nice, so I'll be using those. I'll be printing my own air reservoirs, and I'll be doing more and more videos as I get more done to it. I'm in the very first stages of this right now, so you got to bear with me as far as getting things rolling and stuff. A lot is going to center around, and I keep mentioning this, but a lot is going to center around the trucks. To me, trucks will make or break a model. They have to look right. They cannot look weak, thin, and wispy. They've got to have the right size, the right bulk, and just the right look to them. So a lot of it's going to rotate or focus around those trucks. If I can get those trucks taken care of and done properly, which it may take up to about 6 months or so, to dial it all in and get it done, from that point on, it's just a cakewalk for me to build this thing. So that's what I've got going right now, and hopefully, we can enjoy all this together and follow along with it. I got all kinds of ideas on how to make the fans, the radiator fans. I have drawings on that end of the bench down there, some more EMD drawings of fans and various items and such. So I've got plenty of stuff to keep me going on this. I got the frame done, so that's the base of the frame done. I'm not going to build anything on the side of it yet until I figure out if I need to do any more milling on this thing. Then it'll be done. This is narrower than the hood of this model, but my idea here is everything's going to be built around this frame piece. So it'll all be attached, and then I'll make securing points on the frame so that I can screw the hood on from underneath. That's how Atlas does it. They have screws coming in underneath the deck that screw into the hood. So even though this is narrower, what I can do is I can build on the inside of the hood little lugs that overhang the frame, and I can put screws in to secure it from there. Other than that, I've got all this room for the speakers. I'll also be putting some blocks on this frame to add some weight to it, get some weight going on there and such. So got that taken care of. Also on these drawings that I did, I've got draft gearboxes from the GP35. I've got the pilot plate information from the GP35. What else I got? Here's some more pilot plate information. This is just a measurement from the bottom of the coupler buffer plate to the top of the pilot plates. I got that, and then of course I've got the step well information and things like that, and then I've got all kinds of stuff written down. I've got like volumes of books I'm not books, but volumes of paper or reams of paper that are just pictures that I've drawn and threw dimensions on and stuff. The good thing that I have going now is down in my hometown, a new railroad took over what used to be the NS. It originally was the original NS line, then it became Southern, and then it became Norfolk Southern, and now it's R.J. Corman. And they brought in GP38 and a GP38-2, which I go over there. They have them parked right next to a restaurant parking lot, and they're like maybe 5 feet off the parking lot or so. So I can go over there and just measure stuff off of it and, be respectful and stuff and just measure stuff. They don't run on the weekends. So I can, and the one that's over there now is the wheels are chalked. So it's accessible. So that's where I got all the air reservoir information off of. And like I said, I'll be going back out to Kansas City. So now you know where I'm going, what I'm going to be doing, and hopefully bring you some really cool and interesting modeling. And I've got one other thing to share with you that's sitting on the floor here. In this stack of drawings, these are a bunch of EMD drawings here. You can see how they're yellowing and stuff. I had these in a box for so long, I never even looked at them. And I'd say, you know what, I got those. And I brought them out tonight, and that's when I realized they're all GP35 drawings. Or most of them. Some of them are GP30. This one on the floor is a bit historical. Most of you probably remember the GP30 fan debacle, where up until Proto 2000 did their GP30 and corrected the fan spacing problem. All GP30s before that had the fans spaced too far apart. I have that drawing from EMD on the floor. So the last date on this was 1962, I think it was. Or 1963, what was it? 1962. There, and a lot of you have seen this layout drawing in publications. But if you look right up there, you'll see that leading fan is outside the intake grills. But I think I've seen this drawing in like the Locomotive Cyclopedia and other publications. And what's cool here, these are all the clearances for a GP30. What I like is this one right here. That's the fuel tank. So there's the radius of the fuel tank, and the center line of that radius is 32 and 9/16 inches off the railhead. So that'll give you the clearance at the bottom of the fuel tank. So it's pretty cool stuff. So anyway, I hope that we can have a really good journey with this new modeling adventure. I'm really excited about it, and I really look forward to the day that I can actually get to doing some painting and some weathering. Because of the kindness of Donald Wells in sending me that plow drawing, I was not looking forward to doing a plow because I'm still learning the tool and such. But because he did that, he sent me what would be the standard EMD plows, which is what Missouri Pacific uses. So it was either two railroads I was going to model, either Missouri Pacific or New York Central. But because of Donald, it's going to be Missouri Pacific. So this GP35 is going to turn into a GP35M, where they remove the turbo stack and put a paper air filter box in there and such. I'm not sure which phase GP35. It's either going to be a phase 1A, like a 1A1, or it might be a phase 1C1 or 1C2, whichever one the Missouri Pacific had. I kind of like the 1C2 because it has that trade-in fan, not the standard GP35 36-inch fan, but like the ones used on the F units and such. I kind of like that. I have a bunch of the red caboose ones, so I can use that on there. If I do the phase 1A1, then I can, I'll have to design the fan, which I can design the fan. I have the information for all that and such. So anyway, if you made it through all of my yakking, I hope you enjoyed that and understand where I'm going with this. I really hope I can bring you some really, really cool looking stuff, some really cool looking prints, 3D prints, some new modeling ideas, some tools, some jigs, all that fun stuff. And if you can, keep your fingers crossed that we can get these trucks, the side frames and all that, taken care of for these things. If I can, then I might see if I can pull these wheel sets off and put Proto 48 wheel sets on there. These are semi-scale wheels from Northwest Shortline, but if we truly can get these trucks done, then I'll probably go Proto 48 on that and learn how to lay my own track. Like I said, it's only 17 feet, so how much layout do I really need? I don't even know if I can get a full switch in there. It might just be a long, single track display type thing. So anyways, I really appreciate your time. Thank you for watching, and let's keep our finger crossed that all this comes through.